Boilers. A boiler is an enclosed vessel that provides a means for combustion heat to be transferred into water and it becomes heated water or steam. So, in order to convert the water into steam, then we need to provide heat energy. So after producing that heated water or steam that we can use for our different requirements. So in order to produce that steam or hot water, we are using boilers. Okay, so here what we are doing, we are converting the water into steam or hot. In case of boilers, the we are converting the water into steam with the help of heat energy. So that means in this we are converting the water into steam by using heat energy. That heat energy we are producing as in the form of fuels. Okay, by burning fuels. So once we are heating the water, it converts into steam. So once if we are producing the steam, its volume increases as in this manner. That means this volume increases 1600 times. So that's why as compared to water, its volume will be a huge one only. That's why it will act as an explosive, okay, as like gunpowder. Okay, so we have to give more care in case of boilers while we are manufacturing. Okay, so that's why boilers, they are extremely dangerous equipments. We need to treat these boilers with utmost care, otherwise there will be dangerous situations at boiler systems. So it includes feed water system, steam system and fuel system. So while we are considering a boiler, the main three portions which we need to consider, they are feed water system, steam system and fuel system. Here we need to convert the water into steam, so automatically we need to supply the steam, so that we can done with the help of feed water system. And there will be steam system. So what actually steam system is doing, so after producing the steam, that steam we need to give properly into the areas where we required. Okay, so that is what is doing by steam system. And the fuel system, so in order to convert the water into steam, there we need to produce the heat energy. So that is what is producing with the help of fuel system. Feed water system. So in this we know that boiler requires the water. So feed water system that provides the required water and it regulates automatically to meet the steam demand. So what level of steam required, so on that basis that much amount of water will be supplied. So that is automatically regulates with the help of steam water system. The required amount of steam we can produce it out with the help of providing the required amount of water into the boiler. In case of feed water system, then we need to make maintenance and the repair. So in order to that, only there we are using different types of valves. Okay, so by closing and opening those valves, we can control the water flow into that particular boiler system. Okay, steam system. So in this, the steam produced by the boiler that collects and also its controlling are done by steam system. So in case of steam system, there will be large number of piping system. With the help of that piping system, the produced steam we can take into the point of use. Okay, so that means in some particular situation, that means if we are considering the thermal power plant, the we need to use that steam for producing the electricity. Okay, so in order to produce the steam, the boiler we are using that. So in that, the steam system, what it is doing, it is collecting that steam and taking into towards the turbine sections. If we are considering thermal power plant, so in case of steam system, steam pressure can be regulated by using valves. There we are using different types of valves. So with the help of that, valve, we can regulate the steam flows. Okay, and also steam pressure, that we can check it out with the help of steam pressure gauges. So commonly in case of steam system, there we are using valves and pressure gauges. With the help of valves, we can regulate the steam flow. Okay, the level of, and also with the help of pressure gauges, we can check the steam pressure. Next we can go through the fuel system. So in case of fuel system, in order to produce the heat, there we are using the fuels. Okay, from the fuel to generate the necessary heat, there are different types of equipments we are using. Okay, so are the equipments using for producing the heat energy from fuels? Okay, so they are coming under fuel system. So in case of fuel system, there are different types of equipments commonly we are using. So a type of equipments commonly depending upon the type of fuels we are using. Boiler classification. So on the basis of position of hot gas and water, there are two type of boilers, which are the fire tube boiler and water tube boiler. If fire is there inside the tube and the water to be shifted to steam, or water to change into steam, that circulates outside, that type of boilers we can call it as fire tube or fire in tube boiler. Other one is water tube or water in tube boiler. That means water which we need to convert into steam, that we are passing through inside the tube, and the fire that will be there in the outside of the tube. We'll discuss later. Okay, so these are the two types of boilers on the basis of position of hot gas and water. Okay, and on the basis of circulation of water, there are two types, which are the natural circulation boiler and forced circulation boiler. That is another type of classification. So on the basis of axis of shaft, there are two types of boilers, which are the vertical boiler, and the other one is horizontal tubular boiler. Vertical tubular boiler, and the other one is horizontal tubular boiler on the basis of axis of shaft. Okay. Fourth one, on the basis of firing, there are two types, which are the internally fired boiler and externally fired boilers. These are the main classification in case of boilers. Some important types of boilers are there. So out of that, the first one, that is fire tube or fire in tube boiler. So what do you mean by fire tube or fire in tube boiler? So in this case, through inside the tube we are passing the hot gas. Okay, so with the help of this hot gas, we can convert this water into steam, but that water we are keeping outside this tube only. That means around this tube the water is circulating, and through inside the tube we are passing the hot gas. Okay, so that type of boilers we can call it as fire in tube boiler or fire tube boilers. What are the advantages of using fire in tube boilers? It's having low initial cost as compared to water in tube boilers. Okay, it's having lower initial cost. And the second one, is more efficient. Third one is easier to operate. Okay, so these are the main advantages of fire in tube boilers as compared to water in tube boilers. And also it will be having capacities, that is the capacity of the fire in tube boilers, that is less than that of 25 tons per hour, and it can handle up to a pressure of 17.5 kilogram per centimeter square. Okay, if more than this pressure if we need to handle, then it is better to go through the water in tube boilers. Okay, so these are all the important points. Next we can discuss about water tube or water in tube boiler. Water tube or water in tube boiler. So the second type of boilers, that is water tube or water in tube boilers. Okay, so it's also important. So in this case, through the inside the tube we are passing the water. Okay, and around to this tube we are circulating the hot gas. So while it flowing through the steel tube, it converts to steam due to the effects of hot gas around the tube. Okay, so in this case the water inside this tube only, and the hot gas, that is we are keeping outside. That's why this we can call it as this type of boilers we can call it as water tube or water in tube type boilers. So in this case, there we can use single or multi drum type. Okay, so either we can use single drum type boiler or multiple number of drums. Here we can keep it out. So that's why its capacity, that is normally more than that of 25 ton. Okay, next we can go through the packaged boiler. So in this case, here we have getting a complete package setup. Okay, so the boiler that will be as in form of a complete package setup. So we need only water and pipe work for that water, and steam. There also we need to make some pipe setup, and fuel supply also we need to provide for this, and the remaining all the setup required for these boilers will be there inside that particular boiler. Okay, so a complete packaged setup. Okay, so this is packaged boiler. We only need to make the remaining pipe work for the steam and water, and also the fuel supply. That only additionally we need to provide. So that's why it is we are calling as packaged boiler. Okay, complete package comes as a complete package. Okay, commonly generally it is as in the form of shell type, and these boilers are made as in this manner, fire in tube design. Fire in tube design we already discussed. Okay, so that setup we are commonly using in case of packaged boiler. So that's why it's having high heat transfer rates for both by both radiation and convection. Okay, so heat transfer commonly we are making as in the form of radiation, convection and conduction. Okay, features of packaged boiler. Okay, so in case of packaged boiler, what are the main features we will consider? Okay, so commonly these types of boilers having small combustion space and high heat release rate, resulting faster evaporation. That means it will be having faster evaporation. That means water is evaporating suddenly as compared to other boilers. Why? Because it's having only a small combustion space. Okay, so that is one feature, and the other one is it having a large number of small diameter tubes. So due to that reason, it's having good conductive heat transfer. So here there will be good conductive heat transfer. Why? Because it's having a large number of small diameter tubes. So there will be good conductive heat transfer in case of packaged boilers. And the third one is it's having higher thermal efficiency. That means as compared to other boilers, these type of boilers, that means packaged boilers, they will be having higher thermal efficiency. Okay, next we can go through the performance evaluation of boilers. So in this, main performance parameters in case of boilers, they are its efficiency and evaporation ratio. Okay, so what will happen if time increases? Okay, so that means if after long time period, these performance parameters that reduces, that means its capacity is that reduces. Okay, so that its efficiency reduces, and the evaporation ratio that also reduces if we are operating for a long time period. Okay, after long time period. Why it's all reducing, performance parameters reducing. Why? Because due to poor combustion. Okay, then after using for a long time period, then it's only having a poor combustion. Okay, and also poor operation and maintenance. After doing maintenance work, there will be some deficiencies. Okay, so these are will affect its performance. Okay, and also there will be surface fouling. Okay, heat transfer, surface fouling. So these are will reduce its performance. Even if the boiler is a new one, if there will be a deterioration occurs, or the fuel that is using that is a low quality fuel, or the water having large number of contaminants, they then also its boiler performance reduces. That means if the boiler having deterioration, or the fuel used for that boiler that is a low quality one, or the water having large impurities, then also the boiler performance reduces. In order to find the performance, we can follow some boiler efficiency tests. If you are conducting boiler efficiency tests, we can find out what will be the variation of how much deviation is there. The deviation of boiler efficiency from the best efficiency for that particular boiler, that we can find it out if we are going through the boiler efficiency tests. There are few tests. So if we conduct those tests, then what are the methods to improve the efficiency of that boiler, that we can explain. Okay, the boiler efficiency. So efficiency means what? Output by input. So in case of a boiler, there we are giving heat as the input. Okay, so with respect to heat input, what level of steam we are generating. Okay, so that we are representing as in the percentage. So that is what boiler efficiency. So output by input means generated heat steam with respect to heat input. That is in the percentage. If you are explaining, then that is boiler efficiency. Percentage of heat input with respect to that heat input, what level of steam we are generating. So that is boiler efficiency. In order to find or in order to assess the boiler efficiency, commonly we are following two methods, which are all there. One is direct method and the other one is indirect method. So if we are comparing the energy gain of the working fluid, that means water or steam, with the energy content of the boiler fuel. Okay, boiler fuel having some energy. So with respect to that energy, the energy gain of the working fluid, that working fluid commonly we can consider it as water or steam. Okay, so in case of water or steam, what level of energy it can gain it out. Okay, with respect to the energy content of the fuel. Okay, so that is in that way. If you are finding, means that is direct method. Some other method also is there. Since we can also find it out by finding the difference between the losses and the energy input. Okay, so from the, if we know the energy input, that means the capacity of the fuels, if we knows, means from that if we are producing the losses, that will be the output. So with respect to the output and input, if we are explaining the efficiency, then that belonging under indirect method.